What's up, welcome back to Da Nang in Vietnam. I'm back here since a couple of days, and I was here last month or 2 months ago. Came back here because I like it and because that's a place that I just like to be at. Kind of a nice vibe to work. Feels like I'm more productive and feels like just life is better in general. So I want to share with you today, getting back on topic, some things that you need as an algo trader. And those are things that I didn't use at first, but from all these resources I'll share with you today, most of them are free, and they will make a big difference in how serious you are as an algo trader. If you trade algos with script on your chart, then that's going to help a lot. Okay, I'm going to start with the obvious things that you kind of really need to have, and then we'll go through the less obvious things, the things that like you don't think necessarily about, or things that I didn't have at first and that people in my team working with me have and that they use, and I think these make a big difference. So stick till the end. I'll also have, I think, a bonus one that I've been using quite a lot that makes also a big difference. So here we go with the list of 5 tools every algo trader needs. First thing first is a VPS. Now VPS are, from the title, virtual private servers, and they are kind of computers that you can use from somewhere else, like a computer that stays open 24/7, and you can use it from wherever you are. This is very helpful when you want to make an algo run all the time, wherever you are. Like, it's always going to run, even if your computer is off. So you have a computer somewhere else that's going to run and make the algo take trades. Now at first for me, I thought, well, I'll just leave my computer open at home and let that run, but it doesn't really work well. So sometimes there will be like power outage, there will be like things that stop your computer, updates, whatever, and that means that you could be, if you don't check too often, you could be like for a week without your algo running, and that can be really bad. So you want to have something where it's going to be robust, taking trades all the time, no matter what happens, and also having a good internet connection, which these VPS usually have. Like my connection, my VPS, it's much better than what I get at home or what I get traveling. So for example, here's a quick test I did on the VPS for the speed. Pretty good, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now VPS is the only resource here that's going to cost you some money. Like, I pay for myself $15 per month, which is very cheap. I use a company called this over here, and they work well, so I'm happy with them, no problem, no issues. The only thing I noticed is that the storage on the VPS they give you is kind of low for that price, but you don't really need it. So for me, it's only because I use it for videos and other things. But if you only use it for trading, you don't need much storage, and you can always upgrade later if you need to. So I recommend this. I'll put the link below for that if you guys want to check it out. They still have the package for Forex at $15 per month. They have other packages too, which are going to be linked below, but I definitely recommend the one at $15 per month. Totally fine with me. Now the second tool you need to have as an algo trader is, I believe, simply MYFXBOOK, a tool where you can kind of put your trades there and be able to journal, reflect back, review your trades. In MYFXBOOK, it's kind of nice because you can kind of upload also your backtest, which means that you can backtest something. You would go to strategies, upload your backtest there, and then you can see the data from the backtest there. I think that's pretty cool. So this gives you a better overview of the whole thing, the whole strategy, the whole stats, and it's much better than what you get in MetaTrader 4 after the backtest. Like, this gives you more data and a better way to look at it with like charts and graph and everything. So I kind of like that. Plus you can see a progression over time as opposed to by trade, which you do on MT4. So that's kind of neat. I like it. And I do this myself, so every 30 days I would go back to MYFXBOOK. I would review all my trades, try to classify them, try to put tags on them like I did before in another video I did. So I'll put a link below for that video on how to journal on MYFXBOOK. But that's it. So I just go back all the time, I put my trades there, I review them, tag them, do some analysis of like what's better, what if I did this, what if I did that, what if I modified this or that, and that just makes it easier to improve, and you have no problem like becoming better because you know your stats and you can go back and see the result. So that's really awesome. There are other resources, like one from FXBlue, which you can do pretty much the same thing, except that I could not connect it with my account on Oenda, so cannot use it for now. They were, I think, in beta last time I checked, but if you want to use the one from FXBlue, totally fine. Just use whatever you prefer. By the way, if you like this video so far, make sure you click subscribe. I publish one video like this every single day. My goal is to help you guys develop your trading skills, to be able to get more freedom in life, travel, enjoy the world, spend time with your family. and be a good trader overall. So if that's what you're looking for, make sure you subscribe, and I'll be happy to deliver value, help you progress, and reach your goal faster. Now back to the video. Third thing is, now we're getting to kind of tools to create algos, and this is kind of huge. I started with a site called onlineadvisor.com, I believe. I'll put the link here and below as well for you guys to check it out. That's a basically free site where you can kind of create algos from scratch. So you put your data there, you would put whatever rules you have, whatever thing you want to kind of test or trade with, and this site will create a script for you. Now this is not like a full strategy because it doesn't work for everything. For example, I couldn't set a stop loss as like a reward to risk. I could only set a pip amount, which kind of is bad, but I could do this encoding manually after, so that's fine. Now this is the first thing I use, and another thing that is similar to that, that's going to be point number 4, the fourth tool you need, is called FX Pro QUANT. So it's an app by the broker FX Pro, which you can use to visually kind of create algos. It's kind of a drag and drop thing where you put some boxes in your platform and then it will like create a script at the end. More advanced, maybe a little bit tougher to use. Alejandro in my team was using it for creating his algos at first. Now it's more into coding because you can make some more powerful things with that. But at first it's kind of a good thing to start. If you want to create algos from scratch, no need to code, you can do it with those platforms and they work pretty well. Both of them are free to use. I think the one with FX Pro, you need to have an account with them, of course, but it still works out pretty well. So those are tools you can use. You kind of get a kickstart really quickly on coding algos if you don't know how to code. And if you want to do modification on them, totally fine. You will probably have to edit the code at the end a little bit, but it still works out pretty well. Now tool number 5 is a tool that some people used in my team in my academy. I didn't really look at it at first, but now I see it and it's like really useful. So it's a site called Equity Curve Simulator, where you can kind of put your data from your strategy, your win rate, your average reward to risk, and the site will create possible equity curve of what you can expect from the strategy. Now this is kind of good because like people always hope for the best. Usually they want to have like the biggest return based on their past data, but they don't know that there's going to be some variations, some ups and downs, and that if you have a 50% win rate, you can get to a lot of losing trade at first, and that's something you gotta understand. So that site kind of puts it visually of like what you can expect, different curves for your strategy, and that means that you're going to be more able to handle the tough times and also do some calculation on what you could expect as a return from your strategies. And you can take the worst case and best case scenario if you want, do kind of a middle of both, but that site I thought was really useful for that, so you can kind of see the losses you can get and the reward you can get at the same time. So I'll put a link below for that as well. Free site, totally free to use, and you can just go to that and use it to simulate your equity curve. Finally, the last tool I want to point out is a kind of a little bit more advanced, more like a bonus tool. So let's say you've been doing some coding yourself, or you've been creating something on platforms online that create drag and drop codes for you. Now what if you want to modify, or what if you kind of don't want to get involved too much into this and you want to have someone else code it for you? So I use a site for outsourcing called UPWORK, where I've been outsourcing different things to different people, mostly for my business. So things like the podcast, the video editing, writing some show notes sometimes. And that just makes it easy if you want to outsource, have someone do the work for you when it comes to coding, modifying things. Let's say you have a quick like task you want to modify, you don't know how to do it. Give it to someone on UPWORK. They're going to be able to do it for you for a varying price. It's going to depend, of course, who you hire. But I found this site to be very helpful. This is not for the beginners, of course. Like, you're just starting out, you have no clue how to code, no clue how to do things, no clue what you're looking for, then don't go there. Don't use that. And you're gonna have to pay, of course. But it all comes down to the return on your investment. What is that gonna give you in the future if you pay someone to do it? You're gonna save time, you're gonna save your energy, you're gonna save your mental clarity, and that's, I think, a really good thing. So having someone do the work for you, I'll put the link below for that. Totally worth checking it out. And I've been using this for like almost 5 years now, maybe even more. And I just recommend the site because it's useful to get people to do the work for you. You advance faster and you get to your goals faster as well. So that's gonna be helpful for coding. I found a bunch of MT4 coders there that can code stuff for you. Just have to kind of filter and see if they're gonna be a good fit for what you are looking to do. But overall, I would recommend it definitely. This is, guys, also the 5 or 6 tools for algo traders. I recommend you use all of them if you can, or at least try them out, see which ones fit for you, which one helps you out to become better. There's gonna be things that fit pretty well for you, things that like maybe you don't use that much or you don't like, totally fine. Make sure you comment below with your tools, your resource that you found, what helps you trade better as a either algo or manual trader. I want to know down below in the comment section. Here are a few comments to pass video. I appreciate you guys for leaving your comments as always. Subscribe if it's not done yet, and I'll catch you back here for another video and then on tomorrow.